Well, Tracy's got two of the hottest listings on the market now in LA. Let's see them.
This is Sea Vista in Malibu. This is a really special house. It's $8.7 million. This is like a true compound, again, overlooking all of the vistas in Malibu, the ocean, and there's no less than four
my God.
Four things on,
like a
four
resort.
houses on the property. You could run a bed and breakfast.
So you get four houses. You get four houses on that property.
Yes.
Okay. So if the audience pools all of their money plus mine.
Yeah. Let's all throw it in the pot.
And then call your friends to pool in their money too. A portion, maybe one of those.
Take out your life savings.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see the next one. Oh, that's
this is one of my favorite listings. This is actually in Del Mar, California, so down in San Diego. This is in this is a historic Tudor that sits sort of on the cusp of the ocean and in the village. It's a contemporary on the inside. The two people that live there have sort of remodeled it over the years and brought a contemporary aesthetic to it. This one is $17,500,000.
Oh! Ow! Oh, that hurts.
Very special house.
17,500,000. Who are these people that buy these houses? What do they do? Why can't we do this?
Well, believe it or not, they're architects, and so they've lived there for many, many years. So they're going to do really, really well on the sale of this house, but they did not acquire it for $17 million. So
you hear about the economy constantly and the fluctuation.
Yeah.
Is this a smart time to buy? Are we in a seller's market or a buyer's market right
I think
now?
it depends on what price point you're in. You know, LA.
$17.5 million.
Yeah, that's kind of a rough price point. I would say that the lower end, under $5 million, particularly in Los Angeles, and we were all in different markets, but in Los Angeles particularly, under $5 million is still flying off the market, and that sort of between 10 and 30 is having a bit of a struggle, and then the ultra high luxury, you know, like we were talking about, basements with bowling alleys and candy rooms are selling.
That's so interesting.
It's
the extremes.
The rich are still really rich.
Right.
Yeah.
How has real estate changed?
I mean, I've been in the business for almost 20 years now. Where's the wood?
We don't know what this is made of. We always pretend like it's wood. There we go.
But I've seen two downturns, but I've also seen two recoveries. So, you know, I think right now the market has softened a little bit, and it's sort of evened out. We're not seeing a massive dip like we did in '07, and I think it's just about interest rates getting clear and just sort of riding it out. So for those that are buyers in the market, make sure you know what you're doing, that you get yourself with a really good agent, because they know it better than you.
And the sellers that are right now that are watching, that aren't, you know, they could be anywhere in the country.
Get your head screwed on straight, because you're too high.
Right, that's a big thing, is sellers would be like, no, this is the price I want. This is what, and they're really bullheaded about it.
Yeah, you know, I think sellers are still sort of wrapping their heads around the market changing. And I have a lot of clients that have an inflated sense of what their house is worth. But I mean, I can't tell you how many sellers I've had to sit down with, almost every single one of them, and most of the time they have an inflated sense of what their home is worth. So just maybe take off 20% of what you think your house is worth, and that probably is what it will sell for. I hate to break it to you.
What advice do you have for new buyers?
I think the most important thing is that you get yourself with an agent that you really trust. Educate yourself. You can now. I mean, and a lot of buyers often think that they can do it on their own, but they can't. And there's different laws in every state and contractual obligations, and it's important that you have someone behind that can support you in that, but also, you know, you tend to get emotional when you see a new house that you fall in love with, and the important thing is to go back with sort of a business mindset and make sure that you're investing your money properly and you see through all the pretty and remind yourself this is probably the biggest investment of your life, and you should take it really seriously.
Make sure you have your feet on
advising you
ground,
that knows what they're doing.
Advice is the most important. And I find having a great inspector, too, having someone you really trust that's going to go through every single detail and be like, you got some issues here.
Getting it appraised, all of that.
Right, you know, we're not really looking at, like, the heating and ventilating systems when we're walking through the house the first time, but it's like all that stuff that after you close escrow, you're like, well, wait a minute, I didn't know it was got a 15-year-old system and the cap is 20 years. And, all of that stuff.
Everything.
Plays a role.
Well, put us down for 2 of those apartments in Dubai. Kellie and I would like those. Thank you, Tracy, very much. Catch all new episodes of Million Dollar Listing Los Angeles. I know.